Kids, welcome back. It's so good to see you again. It's so positive to see you again. You're looking really well. You're all looking well. Everybody's looking well. Well. Jack fell in the well. I told you all that I'd do something on Sunday, so here it is. Happy Sunday. And I'd always do something that's really fantastic, so I gotta say, hello to my subscribers. You got something beep, 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 beep. Should be coming out to you right now that Uncle Martin has a new episode for just you. And maybe other people that just want to watch. Looky-loos, they call them. If anyone's selling their house, you know what a looky-loo is. They come in and look and then they leave. Well, as you know, Uncle Martin is not for everyone. Excuse me, I was thinking about that. Uncle Martin is not for everyone, and I'm not supposed to be for everyone, because I believe on this whole planet, terrific or terrible, I'm going to have probably 7 to 11% of this whole planet that would actually even consider listening to Uncle Martin for his whole episode. Right now, I've got a bunch of looky-loos, which is fine with me, but if you can get through a whole episode, you will be the percentage of 7 to 11% on this planet. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I said in the past I'd have always something really cool. I was going to go into multi-universes, but that might be a little too heavy for you right now, because there's only one universe. And I was thinking about another episode that I will be bringing up would be flying through the air, not in a plane. I'm talking about documented evidence of a person flying. That's going to be great. Well, maybe for some people. The other one was nanotechnology. I was going to bring up an episode on that, but I believe in the past I had mentioned harmonics. And I think that's what the thumbnail is going to be on this one, is going to be harmonics. Very important, harmonics. It goes back beyond Pythagoras. Pythagoras knew about it. All the ancients knew about harmonics. Harmonics are sound. Is actually wavelengths. And how wavelengths hit you. And I know I can't feel it, I can't see it. Well, we know now that it does work on that level. So I want to get right out there right now and saying there's a big lie. A lie, kids, that has been around for as long as I've been around. Names will never hurt you. Yeah. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. And that's what I was thinking, kids. That's why I'm bringing up harmonics. What a big lie that is. Of course, names will hurt you. You're already running home and eating comfort foods or whatever because they called you a fatso, or somebody said, "Oh, you're so fat," and you're not fat at all. I mean, you got skin and bones, and now you're going home and you're going to not eat. I mean, these things hit us on all different levels when name calling happens. But on other levels, words are so important. That's what I'm going to get into, the vibration of words, harmonics, sound, the things you can hear, the things that you cannot hear are all around us at all times. So let's just go with, I was brought up Catholic as an altar boy, but in one of those stories that I heard was Jericho, the walls of Jericho falling down. Now, you just had nothing to do except, okay, I just put it on the back shelf. That was Joshua 6 something, 6:127, something like that. Joshua, in that big book that has a lot of books to it. So in Joshua, it had said the walls of Jericho fell down. How did this happen? How could this possibly happen? Just by tooting a horn and doing a shout. Well, actually, it was six 6 days. The Israelites went around Jericho and walked six days, and I believe it was one time they stamped their feet going around. Then it was another time they had their shields with the sword. You know how I feel about swords. Banging the swords on the shields on another day. They did 6 times. They did different things. It's the only two that I can kind of remember. But on the seventh day, when they walked around, they did the trumpets, and then they all shouted. The walls came down. Now, that sounds like a cute little story, but technically it can happen. Scientifically, this can happen. Just think about this. If you have a person that is able to sing the octave of middle octave. Nah, it's a middle. I know it's a middle something. A middle C. The middle C will smash a glass, shatter it. So that is sound. That's harmonics. That's through the voice. So that alone can tell you something. That can happen. We've even seen. I think you can Google somebody doing that and a glass breaking. The other one was my mom told me when I was one of my four fourth grades. Could have been one of my 2 fifth grades. It was in that time period. Who cares? That there was that today, I believe in today, marching is not in unison in the four abreast in unison over a bridge. You don't do it. And why not, Mom? Yeah. And this is back then, and she didn't tell me other than the bridge collapsed. It collapsed. They walking in unison. They collapsed the bridge. So for you kids, I had to make sure it was that authentic? Was that really true? Yes, it is true. It was during 1831. There was a fellow that took his whole troop, a contingent of soldiers across the bridge, and they collapsed it. And I had to Google how many soldiers was it, and it was 74 soldiers. Hey, numerology, 7 and 4, that's 11. Those are master numbers. Maybe it's just coincidence. So we got the whole bridge toppling down because they were walking in unison, which apparently we don't do anymore in our military anymore. I think that's what she was coming across to say. The walking, the shouting, the stamping of the feet, the screaming, the tooting of the horn, all are wavelengths. And we're being hit with wavelengths. As I said in episode 34, the photon, the purple-violet photon that's coming into the planetary body, I suggest you might want to check that out. Before I got to that, I know it was like 15 minutes before that happened, I did bring up all the galaxies, all the things that are out there, and how Hercules is coming into our galaxy and all that. In episode 3, I had mentioned some facts that it comes full circle. This all comes full circle with harmonics. There's 70% dark matter, 25% dark. See, I even screwed up again. If you go to episode 3, you'll see that it's very difficult with my numbers, but numbers are so very important. It's 70% dark energy, 25% dark matter, 4.5% matter, and then, of course, 1.5%, they just don't know. They just don't know in the universe what that 0.5% is. They just can't figure it out. Uncle Martin, put that on the back shelf. I've got something for you on that one, kids. That'll be episode 0.5%. So we got all 70% dark energy, 25% dark matter, and only 4.5% matter. Well, if you go to episode 34, I talk about billions and trillions of other stuff out, and that's in our universe, and that's only 4.5% matter. It is so vast that we can hardly comprehend it, but we can because we got numbers to work with, because we got the zero. The universe is in numbers. The universe, our universe, works with 432 hertz. 432 hertz, and that's what it vibrates at. And it just so happens, maybe it's a coincidence, but this is what the Earth also vibrates at. 432. I find it interesting that in 1935 there were some folks over there in Germany that weren't working with 432. They were working with 440. 440. 440 is, it's not positive. So it's only 8 hertz difference from 440 to 432. See, I got to think about numbers all the time, but it's true. 432 is with harmony, with the heartbeat. It's it works with the brain on a level of harmony. We're more at peace, more tranquil with 432. Even Nicholas Tesla knew about that. And that's another fellow that we're going to bring up someday. That'll be an episode in itself. Mr. Nicholas Tesla. That's a big one. So we got people in Germany using 440 in the 30s, and it took exactly 30, 35, 45, 53. 1953, the whole world took 440 for tuning pianos and the musical instruments. 440. That's out of harmony. That's not in harmony. Harmony is 432. Why would anybody do that? Is there a reason, or is it just coincidence? That's all Uncle Martin's asking. I'm not pushing any blame on anybody. I'm just bringing up some numbers. So episode 3 was with all the numbers of the universe. And then remember episode 2, anybody that went back to that or remembers that, if you didn't, you might want to check out episode 2. It was the bully situation with you, the bully being gravity, and you being, well, the gravity's so tough and everything. But then there was the electromagnetism, the nuclear force, and the weak nuclear force that I put you little mice under, that was so much stronger than gravity. Our universe being in sync with 432, and us being out of sync by us being pummeled with 440, which goes against the brain, and also the third eye, our awakening of our third eye, which I brought up in episode 27 and 28 when I was living out in the desert with the shaman medicine man and all that stuff, that I just touched a little bitty on that. But he was the one who was saying, you know, when I was going through those choyas barefoot and all that, you're looking at a magnet. I go, it's the third eye you must look at. And all the old Indians with more experience will, they're going, go Uncle Martin. Or they're probably saying, don't even bring it up. But I have to. The third eye is our awakening of the inner eye of what is around us. And we've got a bunch of fog around our third eye, by the way. And it's being that way even more so by the 440 megahertz that are being hit, that we're getting hit with. So right off the top, I'd say start listening to maybe more of the 432 megahertz, which would be, of all things, Gregorian chants. Why did I always love Gregorian chants? Because it goes with the heartbeat, it goes with your brain, and actually, did you know 432 brings down blood pressure? It puts your heart in sync. It's the heartbeat of our planet Earth. It's the whole thing of our universe. It's what our attunement is when we become back in harmony. Harmonics, harmony. And we find that a lot of us are out of harmony. If you look around, a lot of people are not so much in harmony. So that's what I believe we have to bring back. See, the tuning of all pianos right now are under, it's a law. It's a law that a world law that we have to be under 440 on tuning our pianos, our instruments, instead of 432, like Pythagoras knew about. All the ancients knew about it. The people that did the pyramids knew about it. I mean, all these people knew about the 432. And that's what I'm saying. It's coming full circle because a lot of us are becoming awakened, I believe, on a mass conscious wise of what's going on around us that might be a little negative. And maybe we can come back to being more positive by just tuning ourselves with more classical music, things that go with the heartbeat, rather than, I said in the other episodes, where the jazz and acid rock are jing jang and jang and jang down your spine. You're getting that vibe, but you don't know, or maybe you do know, that that's what you like, and that's okay. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying this is how it works with harmonics. Even in Boy Scouts, remember, if you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hand. If you're happy and you know it, give it a shout. So this, the stamping, the clapping, and the shouting, all are harmonics. And if anybody was in the camp and you did that, you Boy Scouts out there, I don't know if the Girl Scouts did it, but you're banging on the table, you're jumping and you're doing a shout. Man, that whole room was cleared of negative energy, wasn't it? Yeah, yes it was. So we have different ways of speaking. All words have a vibration to it. They has a number to it. Your name has a number to it. Mom was into numerology, obviously. I've mentioned that in the past. So your name that you come into this planet, terrific or terrible, however you want it, has a vibration to it. Every name has a vibration. So if you're called, Susie Q, and your name was Susan, there's a different vibration there. Jimmy James, Jimmy, rather than James, has a different vibration to it. Uncle Martin, since Dad was named Marty, I guess I was called Marty for a while. And then it was, hey, Marty, which one? What Marty? Well, I think it's Big Marty. Nah, we want Little Marty. So even family-wise, oh my, I got to go to a class reunion next year. And all I'm going to get hit and bombarded with is, hey, here's Marty. And I don't care. Once I learned about the vibration, kids, I said, I'm going to be called Martin. Well, Uncle Martin for you kids, but Martin has a whole different vibration than Marty. Martin. This is the way it is, kids. And even Dad, when he realized this, I guess I was 15 when I knew about that law, so I said, I'm no longer Marty, I'm Martin. And my parents were never, to my face they would, but I heard, hey, you gotta go get Marty. They just weren't in on it, So finally, I don't know, when I got into my 30s, I guess, Dad saw the vibration thing, and he changed his name to his birth certificate, which was Mario. I said, we were Italian, that side. And so Mario. And by the way, kids, if you ever order pizza, I'll give you a little secret. Say your name. You have to fib, I guess. Well, don't do it if your name isn't. Mario. It's negative to. Hey, I'm calling for a pizza. Yeah, what's the name? It's Mario. Mario. Hey, the pizza's for Mario. These Italian people love Mario for some reason. I found I get more cheese and more goodies on my pizza when I say, what's the name? Mario. And I say, how long is this pizza going to take? 10 to 15 minutes. And these are the guys you definitely want to say, wait, what's the name? Mario. Mario. Hey, the pizza's for Mario. See, there's something behind that. I just put it on the back shelf. Think about it, though. I've always had fantastic pizza when I've said Mario rather than, well, maybe down the road when I say Uncle Martin. Hopefully, maybe someday they'll say, it's for Uncle Martin, yeah. Maybe not. So we got the heartbeat going with the 432 numbers, 432, and your heartbeat is not going. 440 is against the heartbeat. So this is where harmonics come in with our words, what we say. As a matter of fact, I guess I might as well just hit it now since it is harmonics. When I gave the episode when I was in altar boy, and I told Father, I wasn't very happy when they turned the altar around. Definitely, I was not happy. I was ringing the bell and everything on Latin. I knew Latin. I read it. I read the little book on Latin, so I knew all the ringing the bells and all that. So I said, when they changed it to English, I said to Father, I said, this is wrong. Do not change. He says, it's too late. They've already decided. I said, but Father, the vibration of English versus Latin is so much higher, Father. He says, he didn't disagree, but I was right. I didn't know I was right until I looked into it. They have a machine, kids, a machine on words, what you say and how it goes positively or negatively. The words, when you, different, yeah, perfect. Latin is definitely higher than English. What is the highest vibration of words, of our languages? Oh, well, isn't it a coincidence that we don't speak it anymore? Sanskrit. Sanskrit, it's a dead language. Well, maybe we should bring back that dead language. Sanskrit being a dead language, but it's the highest vibration on this meter, that tonal qualities on words, Sanskrit happens to be the highest. I think we should bring back Sanskrit. All you little kids out there that are listening to Uncle Martin or somebody, I don't know, somebody's got to be listening to me by now, I would hope. At least for the whole episode. You would look into Sanskrit and getting into, I mean, I've already done Egyptian stuff with hieroglyphics. It's so cool. But Sanskrit, I guess that's my next thing. I'll be speaking Sanskrit someday. Sanskrit being the highest, I didn't catch what the lowest was, but English is lower than Latin. That we do know. Now, the other thing was I found fascinating with this machine is the way it goes off the scale on a certain word. It might be just a coincidence, but I don't think so. Any language you pick, any language, Greek, Latin, Spanish, English, Sanskrit, any known language that you say the word God, goes off the scale. Isn't it interesting? Yeah, that sounds like quite a coincidence. Any language you have and you say God and it goes off the scale, hey, that's pretty interesting. Another interesting thing about this meter that takes tonal qualities and words on different levels of what vibration it is, high or low, they have the same thing. If you put a box with sand on it, and you do this Well, they do it a lot up in India. It's the Om, the Om. It goes. I'll do one Om for you. That. They do a lot of that up in India. Go India! Other places too. There's places that do that. When you do that tonal quality on this machine with the sand, little sandbox that I saw the pictures on, what happens is a pyramid up and a pyramid going up and a pyramid coming down to where they merge in to the Star of David. Now, is that not a coincidence? Yeah, maybe just a coincidence. I'm just saying tonal qualities affect the body, and more harmonious words affect the body, as well as not so harmonious words. So I'm saying, kids, when people give you negative words, don't let it hurt you. You can put up more of a wall around you to where you now know that, well, these people don't really know what maybe they do, but they just have more things to learn, because those negative words that they're sending out to you will be coming back to them. And not to jump aboard and start, the 4 rules of Uncle Martin. You never start a fight, you never run from one. You always arm wrestle first if you have to. And even if you have to arm wrestle or fight, always afterwards shake hands with the person. And then, of course, rule number 4, if it's more than you and him, it's the gang. Casually go over to the biggest guy and knock him out. Those are the 4 rules that Uncle Martin lived by, as you well know. Anyone that's followed Uncle Martin, and maybe the new people that are coming in, those were the only 4 rules that I had from a young age of kindergarten that got me through all 20 of my schools that I did graduate on. Dad was a genius, Mom was a genius. We were all spiritual. I don't even think we really knew about it. It was just something that we did. And that's what we all do here on Planet Terrific or Terrible. We either have the faith or we have the fear. And that's what we're here to learn, that we might have to eliminate more of the fear, which we do, but you don't know that maybe. And you come on to the faith. The faith is something you're either born with or you have to learn to have. That's the test. When things really come down on you, to keep the faith rather than fall prey to that negativity. Whether it be your boss you're dealing with, and that'll be perfect because I have an episode on jobs, all the bosses I dealt with. Boy, that's a fantastic story too. So got episodes that you're going to be hearing about. Everyone has had a job or has a job that you have to deal with your boss. So all that'll be for you people out there, and you kids that are dealing with kids. Well, if you're watching any of Uncle Martin's episodes, you'll know how to get through a lot of that stuff, just by following those 4 rules. But when you get out of school, out of college, or you're in the corporate field, like Uncle Martin was, how I dealt with all of those things, fear. It doesn't stop. Everybody out there who has Uncle Martin on right now, fear will never stop on this planet Terrific or Terrible. You're going to be here dealing with fear every day. And it's a matter of if you're going to accept it or just push it back. Say, not today on my watch. Okay? I just touched upon harmonics on a little level. There's more I could do, but I think that's pretty much if you just look up 432440 and see that 432 is positive, 440 is negative. And that's all I'm putting out there for you right now today, this happy Sunday. So, until Uncle Martin comes back, probably, I'm saying next Sunday, I'll be here for whoever's left out there. And until then, I mean it. Be well. Aloha until I see you next Sunday.